Shalom Israel. Call Halal Yumla Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi Wahakwadask. This will be part 3, a continuation of Listen to Yahawashi through the movies. And I started off with I ended with AI, the movie AI, which if you can receive it, is symbolic for the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. And if you look at it in a parable meaning, the robots ultimately they were symbolically being the human in this movie, and they were, there to receive the chips. Ultimately they were the people and the nations that were, even including Israel, that were dumb enough to take the mark of the beast. Those were the robots significantly mean in AI. And if you know what AI is, artificial intelligence. And if you look at the movie in a whole, you can see that that they said that the robots would increase and make everything easier, make everything better. So matter of fact, let me get into some scripture and prove this point. Salakia, give me one moment. Salakia, bear with me. Let's go to Revelations. Revelations 13 and 16. 13 and 16. Revelations 13 and 16. And it says, "He who causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. And the robots symbolize the men and women who will receive the mark of the beast. And it said rich or poor, free or bond. So the robots were everywhere, even if they were in the penitentiaries, or and if you look at the movie, there were older robots that were put away in tankers, and storage plants, which is almost symbolic for being in the penitentiary. They were put away, and then you have the more elite status who had robots, and then you had even the common people, the basemen who and women who had robots who could afford them. Everybody had a robot, and the robots significantly were the men. They were symbolic for people. You know what I mean? And each household had somebody in there, whether rich, poor, free, or bond, that had a robot, and that was a representation of somebody taking the mark of the beast. You understand what I'm saying? And if you look at it, if you look at the movie with the spiritual lens, you can see when the chip was implanted in the robot's brain. Or if you look at Will Smith hold his hand, because he also had a robotic hand. You know what I'm saying? So it was in the mark was in the forehead and in the hand. And I would like to go on by saying that in the movie there was a mother computer that the elites eventually created to have control, and that's what all the mark of the beast is. It's control. It's to tag you. You know what I mean? Like cattle. So this mother computer had control of the robots at any point, and the robots weren't meant to do anything. They couldn't hurt you. They had laws. They couldn't do anything to any humans. But at the same time, at the end of the movie, when it was an uproar in the city, the mother computer turned on the nation and activated the chips that were located inside the AI robots. You know what I'm saying? And that's symbolic for what the elites will do to those who take the incision, the charagma, the mark of the beast. If you can receive it. I also want to go to another movie that interests me, which is the Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes is symbolic for Israel. And if you look at it through a spiritual lens, through a spiritual vision, you can and you know what? The funny thing is, the ape, they mock us. They call us apes, they call us monkeys and stuff like that. So that was a joke in hindsight. They were mocking us. So, and they didn't try to hide it, but they represented Israel. You know what I mean? And and to me, from the spirit, I believe that the war of the planet of the apes was symbolic for Jacob's trouble. Also maybe a remnant of World War III. The third woe. But ultimately Jacob's trouble. And because you could tell, because they were locked up in cages, they were in chains. The military, which was symbolic for martial law, they had took control of the apes. But at the end, they had the spirit to rise up and take and go to battle with the military in the war of the Planet of the Apes, and ultimately prevail. And there was some sacrifices that had to be made, but the spirit had lifted them up to conquer them. And then they got, at the end of the movie, you see they got the promised land. It's a beautiful movie. You have to see it. It's a beautiful movie. And I want to get into some words here, like of War of the Planet of the Apes. Of course, war is destruction. Woe. Then you have planet. And planet meaning a world, or a world or a world of a nation. Like the nation of Israel, the world of Israel. You know what I mean? And that's what it was symbolically. It is and apes, which was symbolic for Israel. So it was pretty much a war on Israel. You know what I mean? And so, this is kind of stuff you can kind of pick out of the movie, the stuff you can kind of put together, when the spirit comes on you. It's crazy. But they tell you, because it's hidden in plain sight. But if you look at these movies through a spiritual lens, you would definitely get it. It's right there in front of you, and they keep coming out with more movies and more movies. And they've been doing this for so long, though. They've been putting movies, but we've been so blind, and in a Gentile state of mind, that we weren't able to see what was there, that what they were pulling out of Scripture and showing you in plain sight, teasing you, actually mocking you. You know what I'm saying? Not having a clue that we would actually get the spirit on us to wake up. You understand what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. And that's really all I wanted to do was give you guys the understanding on the movies and the gestures that they have, what they mean. And what they mean, is all scriptural. If you can receive it. And I like to thank the elders and the prophets who speak this truth in sincerity. I would like to thank and give double honors to the Akim and Aquath who speak this truth in sincerity, and to the elders who rule well and still rule well. Call Halal Yumla Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi Wahakwadash. Kwam Yasharala. And remember Israel, to love Yahweh like Yahweh loves you. Shalom, Israel.